Hello and welcome to CGNgames and the Late Night Gaming Show, episode 47. Jody, how are we doing on this fine Wednesday evening? Because we're filming a day early today.
We are. It's very strange. It's not me provision of the week out of place. I'm very good, thank you, Tim. How are you?
I am very tired, but I am excited for the show. We've got some interesting news stories. Fallout 76 is in.
No!
We've always got to put it in every
No!
time. We've got Black Ops screwing people over. This is a day of different companies screwing people over, and it's just so good to talk about. We've got rumored new Switch games to talk about. We finally got a decent amount of games in what's coming out this week. Oh, Joe, it's going to be a jam-packed show.
Okay,
I'm super excited. So we are going to get straight into it with what have we been playing this week?
We've been playing this week.
What you been playing this week?
Welcome back. It is time for what have we been playing this week. Jody, you're not going to start. I'm going to start by telling you that Jody's going to go first. What have you been up to in the last week? What have you been playing?
Update on The Sims, because we talked last week and one of the Sims died. Mm-hmm. Dad died. The eldest son died.
Oh gosh.
Did
he go in the same way?
No, he froze to death.
Where did you go on holiday this time?
He didn't go on holiday. He took the dog for a walk and got stuck.
What? Got stuck where?
So, you can take the dog, like, jogging, when you go jogging, so you take your dog with you.
Right.
Okay. So, he got stuck because I asked him to come back, because he'd been out for, like, an hour. So, I was like, come back, because you're going to get cold. Mm. And then, he just stood there. And the next minute, he just turned to ice.
What?
And then Def came and took him and didn't even give me the chance to plead. So Mum tried to come and sort him out. And I thought, I can't deal with this. So I actually just went back to the last point I saved and just don't let him walk the dog now.
Oh my word.
That's literally what it's come to.
Oh, so you have saved him by going back in time?
Yeah, I've saved this one.
Who would have thought at times? Why couldn't you go back in time with him?
Because it just wasn't right.
It wasn't right. Secretly, Jodie wanted the dad dead. That's what it really happened there, didn't it?
It was.
So that's basically been it.
Yeah.
Just The Sims.
Yeah. I mean, I played Tetris 99.
Oh, yeah?
I played that. That was boss, that.
Mm.
I got third place, but Mike went and beat us off first.
I know. He's just that too,
was
didn't
really
he?
sad.
What a scumbag. I've been enjoying it. Closest I've got... Well, I thought I came 5th. I didn't. I've come 6th. It's just that naughty thing where I think it tells you how many are left. So you think you're at that position, but you're actually one behind. Cause,
It's okay, though. 6th place is a good place to be.
You know what? I was doing amazing, Jodie. I was just smashing lines all over the place. And I was doing really well. There's a point where I think it's like the last bit of the speed that increases. As soon as it hits that speed, I'm done. And I'm basically just trying to survive for as long as possible. But basically, as soon as I got to 5th, they all just ganged up on me and it was bye-bye, Tim. That's what happened to me.
That's cruel, that.
It is, isn't it?
I've learned, if you leave it on random, they don't mess with you for like three-quarters of the game.
So I was playing it last night, right? I had that theory as well, because I always go for attackers, so whoever attacks me, I'm like, no, I'm not going to allow you to attack me. So I put it on random. 4 games in a row, 5 people all targeted me right at the start. And I just died. One after each other. And you can feel the rumble in the Joy-Cons when you're playing the handle. So you can just feel it going dun, dun, as your screen fills up, and it was annoying me so much.
I had to turn that off because that was putting me right off playing. So I was just like that. But apart from that,
I love it. It's so good. I'm still stand by and rubbish at Tetris, but I love it.
I love a good bit of Tetris. I mean, I think most games that I've been in the top 20. Most of the games that I've played, so I'm quite proud of that. Normally, I get to 50 and I'm like, I'm bored now.
Honestly, at the moment, I'm lucky if I crack the top 50 with the way I get targeted at the moment. My first, up till yesterday, I was all right. You know, I would say I was in the top 30 maybe most of the time, and then everyone was like, Tim's online, let's take him down. That's what it felt like. So hopefully it will change.
It was me and Mike.
Probably was. So I'm looking forward to that game getting some new modes. There's 50 versus 50 rumoured. I think I'd really like that.
That'd be boss.
You know, a chance to win. That's what it was like in Fortnite, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was totally what it was
Although
like.
I did manage to win about 3 solo games, which I still, to this day, can't believe. But it happened, and I have the video proof until Epic took the feature out to take videos on it. It
That's sad, that.
There you go.
So what about you, Tim?
What about me? So I've been playing Tetris 99 as well.
Yeah.
I've had intentions of playing bigger games, and I keep getting brought back to the smaller ones now. And this is what I hate when I get into just multiplayer games, because I don't feel like I'm progressing a lot.
Yeah.
But I've been playing a lot of that. I've been playing a new game that I am not going to talk about till reviews of the week, which I've been playing, and I didn't intend to play it a lot, but I have been playing it a lot.
Oh.
I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 9. Still, what a fantastic game.
No one cares.
Jodie. It's like number 2 in the top 30 or something on the Switch, so clearly a lot of people care. Quite a lot of people actually care quite a bit.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Next.
They do. I think that has... I played the Yoshi demo.
Oh yeah, I played that.
Like that game, like I've said from the start, when they showed it off the first time, I was like, Yoshi game, not really bothered. And the more they've shown, I've just got more and more interested in it. And then playing the demo yesterday, well, when they showed it in the direct, I got really excited about it. They dropped the demo on the day, I just played the demo, and I absolutely loved it. And I'm like,
it's good. It's a good game.
And that's the thing, like, it's not a hard game. It's not really supposed to, but I just enjoyed exploring, trying to find all the collectibles and stuff. It was just good. And I actually really loved as well that there's like multiple missions within the same level, so you can play that level in different ways. I think the second you play the level a second time, and you do it in reverse, and it's just really clever. I think in this game, every level can be played in reverse, which is like quite amazing that they managed to get that to work. But and then after you finish that, you get another mission from the little character that's at the side of the screen, and he asks you to get 5 cows. So you go around throwing exit cows. So I like that they used, because like usually with Yoshi games, it's you just go from level to level to level, and you just get to the end, and it's like, woohoo, done. But I like that they used each level multiple times to get you to continue to play. So it's good. So I really enjoyed that. There was another. What else? Oh yeah, Final Fantasy 9 dropped on it. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, pretty cool. What I did want to play though, Jodie, because I was excited. So Trials Rising is coming to Switch next week, which we'll talk about in what's coming out this week. But the beta dropped yesterday, and I was like, oh, I'm well up for trying this out on the Switch. So downloaded the beta, and every time I tried to play it, it just went no internet connection, and I was like, what the heck? So I must have tried for about an hour, and then I just read this morning that the beta doesn't start till the 21st. So, which is, well, for you it'll be, in fact it will have come and gone, but for us it'll be Thursday that beta is actually playable, and it's playable till the 25th. So download it and give it a go. But I'm looking forward to that.
The Division have their beta ready to go as well.
Oh, and that is today, isn't it? From what you said,
I think so. I'll have to double check, but I think so. I tried to sort it out so I could.
I might have a little game tonight, perhaps, if it's working.
I don't know. I don't actually know because I couldn't get it to download because it won't let me log in for some reason.
I'm really not that excited for that game, but I'll literally play it because you want to play it. That's where I'm at.
Literally.
I feel like, to be honest with you, because of how bad Fallout 76 went, I feel like it's have to make things right.
It's the only way it's the only way.
So yeah, it's been quite a lot, but now I've got a few days. I've got a few days off. So I am hoping that I am just going to absolutely smash some games that I've not managed to finish yet. So there we go. I'm excited.
Nice.
So if that's everything, I feel like I'm forgetting stuff, but we always do. It's all good. So we are going to move into our next section, which is, of course, who is screwing us over in the news this week?
It's time for some news, yeah. It's time for some news.
Welcome back to Who is Screwing Us Over in the News this week, and our first guys on the list is, of course, Fallout 76. They can't stop, can they? You just think, like, how can they make it worse? There's no way they can possibly. I'm not going to go through the list because I do it every week. I'm not going to go through the list of how bad it's got, but it did get worse to me, right?
I feel like you go looking for news.
I don't. I came across this, so I didn't just like discover this, and this actually happened a couple of weeks ago. But I was watching. There's a YouTube called Young Ye. That's fun to say, isn't it?
Yeah, Young Ye.
And he was talking about this, but this actually happened a couple of weeks ago, and I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. So you would think, because of the PR disaster of this game, they would just leave it, maybe even go quiet for a bit, just try and fix the game and just shut up. No, they decide, let's try and get people to spend more money.
No.
Bad decision. So what happened was, right, so they had a promotion, and it ran between like the last week of January and the first week of February, right? I want to point out, leading all the way up to the game, even after the release of the game, they said microtransactions will only ever be cosmetic. It will never be like pay to win or, you know, pay to increase your stats or anything like that. They just went, nah, let's just do it anyway. Everybody hates us already. So basically, there's these, I think it's 6 different costumes, right, that are based on a comic book that's in the game. So these comic books you can pick up, and it like increases your stats if you find them, and it's like whatever. So if you pick up one that's to do with strength, it'll increase your strength. There's like 5 or 6 of these comic books you can find, and they put in basically skins that looked like the characters out of the comics, right? Nothing wrong there, bit of cosmetics, whatever. What they thought would be a great idea is that for so basically a week or 2 weeks, they were going to run a thing where for each person in your party that has one of those special skins, you got like a 60 point boost to your health. So your health basically increased by like an insane amount. It was like 15 per person, so essentially it could go up by something. I think the max was like 4 or 5, so it could go up over 60 points. So and it was called the unstoppable something.
Well, you're clearly unstoppable.
Well, exactly. So basically, but the thing was, the scumbag move, right? This is the real scumbag move. So one of the costumes you can actually just find in game. Like I think you can like you find parts of it, something, you make it up. But this promotion, right, only worked if each person in your party had a different costume on. So basically, the other 4, because I think there's one that they haven't released, but the other 4 costumes you had to basically pay for.
No,
you could buy them with atoms, which you can earn through the game, but by the point you've got them now, you're gonna earn them so slowly that it's gonna, you're probably gonna have to pay for it. So basically, they put in a pay to win situation.
Why?
I don't.
Why?
That's the thing. Was it really worth it? How many people went on there and went, let's get a party of 5 or 6 people, get them, let's all buy these crappy costumes so that we can get an increase in our stats with a game that no one's playing? Why did they think that was good? Like, you are literally creating PR disasters over and over again. So they literally went against all the promises they made about that they would never do that. And then they've just gone, well, everyone hates us already. Let's just do it anyway.
Why? This is why I'm so annoyed.
I don't know.
Because I bought the game and I don't even play it, and I still think they shouldn't be done. That's terrible.
It's crazy, isn't it? So when I was watching this last night, I was like, this can't be serious. Like, I was just like, just literally introduced what the situation was, and I just went, no. And then he brought up the screenshot of the banner that was in the top corner of the game. And I just was like, why? Why was it really worth it? How much more money did you make from that? It's just crazy.
Do you know what, though, that angers me even more? And I should really change this. But do you know your theme that's on your PlayStation?
Yeah.
Mine is Fallout 76.
Is it actually?
Yeah. And I can't be... It's like... I think it's because I couldn't remember how to change it. So, and then I just couldn't be bothered trying to change it. So every time I go on it now,
you're reminded.
It just reminds me. So I just need another game. I tried to change it to the Sims one, and then it just looked rubbish, the Sims one. So I was like, that's not working. I mean, that is bad.
It's just stupid. I'm just like, who is the idiot who approved that? Like, what on earth are they thinking?
Money. That's what I'm thinking. Money signs.
There you go. What can I say?
It makes me want to not play video games again.
It's just like, you just continue, like, as we continue through this year, you just think it can't get worse. It can't. It's impossible. What else can they do? They've literally lied to players about, like, people who bought a collector's edition about what you even get in it. So they just went, nah, we're not going to give you what you paid for. They've literally delivered a terrible game that doesn't work properly. They wouldn't give refunds to PC players who the game wasn't. It's like, it's just an entire, like, you couldn't have gone worse.
I want a refund on my game and they can take
that will
it.
happen. So I'm just like, I can't believe that it's gone this way. But they're not the only ones who have been sneaky. Now, these people have been more sneaky than them in terms of, like, they've got away with this sort of rubbish. And that is, of course, Black Ops 4. So they've done a little sneaky thing, I think it's this week. So basically, when this game launched, there's no loot boxes, there's no microtransactions, none of that. You just play the game. And it got good reviews. After all the reviews have come out, they're like, let's put in microtransactions now. So basically, they waited for all of the reviews to be done so they would get good reviews, and then they just slid in the microtransactions to make it look so you didn't notice. So bear in mind, right, as it stands now, you buy the game for us in the UK, £50. That's how much it retails for at the start. Then you buy in the season pass, which costs like 35 to 40. Then you buy, like, you could have got the deluxe edition or whatever that comes with more stuff as well, bear in mind. Then they got microtransactions in there, so you've got to buy, to buy all little bits. And then they thought, you know what? We've kind of done all the different ways of monetizing the game apart from loot boxes, so we may as well just throw that in as well. So they've literally got every type of monetization in one game. And I'm just like, if you added up the amount of money you have to spend to get everything in this game, it'd be insane. Yeah. So they've put these in, right? But they've been gracious to us, Jodie. They have been gracious to us. So you can earn these credits or whatever it is to open loot box. You get them insanely slowly, so you're not going to be.
So you'd want to pay for them. Anyway.
So you want to pay for them, but it's okay, Jodie, because if you don't want to do the loot boxes, what you can do is the items that you get in the loot box, you can go on the black market in the game and just buy them. I mean, it costs insane amounts of money to buy the stuff, but you can just buy them, so it's okay. So
there's a black market in the game.
That's what it's called. That's what it's called.
Are you winding me up?
No. It's called, you go on the black market and you buy this. You just pay a lot of money for the stuff that's in the loot boxes. It's just like, oh my word! Like, they've got insane in terms of getting money out of people. It blows my mind. So,
oh my goodness!
It's just got worse over time.
The fact that they put a black market in the game. We all know it's out there, but nobody's just putting a game. Oh my goodness!
So there you go. If you want to spend a lot of money and get dots, because that's what you pay for, those sweet red dots that you used to get for free in the games, because why would you pay for it? You can now get Black Ops 4 and pay for it if you like. So let's move on to some positive news, shall we, Jodie? Because we've been a little bit devastated. I did say who have we been getting screwed over by in the news this week. So an interesting invitation's gone out to a lot of games publications. And that is Google has been handing out the invites. And it just says, come see us sometime. Not sometime. 19th of March. I'm like, come and have a little... We're going to have a little show. Come check out what we're talking about. And basically, it looks like Google will be revealing the gaming console that they've been working on. And people aren't sure if it's just a streaming box or if it is a full-blown console. But apparently, I heard when I was watching Spawn Wave this week.
Okay.
I don't know how credible it is because it was just incredibly vague. But he's like, from my sources. And I was like, who are your sources, mate?
That's dodgy, that.
It wasn't me when I called you up last week, and I was like, no, I don't really talk about it. But he was saying that apparently he's going to talk about more in the future. But from his sources, they're saying that they've actually got a lot of game developers, high profile ones as well, to make exclusive games for them. So it seems like they're making a big push to be like the next big company in the games media, not media. The gaming world.
I don't think they're going to be.
You don't think they're going to do it? You don't think they're going to get in there?
No.
Why is that?
Because I think a lot of gamers now are set in the ways of what they play on, and where they play.
And this comes back to when a few weeks ago when we were talking about Amazon is apparently developing a streaming console, and it's like, would you change over to Amazon? And I was saying, for me, I couldn't imagine that even if Amazon was like the better streaming service, I can't imagine.
Yeah, I just think we're all stuck in our ways with PlayStation and Xbox and
Nintendo.
Those weird PC people.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's gonna be,
but
I think one thing you got to think about, if it is streaming, I wonder. I mean, this might be a stretch, but if they could somehow get their streaming service to work on Google Chromecasts and things like that, like millions of people have them in the homes already. They could literally be getting games consoles, I guess, in everybody's houses before they were even launched.
It's true.
If that did work, or if it is going to have to be a bigger streaming box, but I don't know. I'm interested because the thing is, obviously, the amount of money they've got. There's potential.
I don't know. They have those weird glasses, don't they? Those Google glasses.
Yeah.
You've seen them,
Yeah.
But they have weird stuff like that, so you never know what they're going to come up with.
So the thing is, like with Amazon, I'm like, I can't see people going for that. But I could see casual, like, you know, just parents are like, oh, I want to get a little games console for my kid for Christmas. I don't want to spend £250 on a Switch or a PS4. No one's buying an Xbox for the kids, so that's fine. So I could see it like if this is like a cheap console, like it's like £40 or something, I could see people going for it. That's the thing. I think hardcore gamers probably won't do that, but
unless they've got kids that they're trying to introduce to the gaming world.
Yeah.
Then that's fine. You know
potentially,
what I mean?
yeah. But in terms of like, I found it weird that people were talking about an actual games console, you know, for local home use and not streaming. I can't see that one working. I can't see people jumping on board with that.
No.
So we'll see.
I mean, could you imagine like the next generation doing podcasts and stuff like that? And they're talking about Amazon games and Google games.
I know, that
and we'll all be sat there being like, oh.
It does depress me a little bit, that. But it's just interesting as we move into this sort of streaming era that's clearly coming. You've actually got these companies that are kind of set up better for that. Like Google, to be honest, makes the most sense when it comes to streaming. I think it does. Like they're an internet company, aren't they? You know what I mean?
So they're going to have the best of the best, aren't they?
Yeah, so obviously Microsoft know that and they're making moves to obviously next generation. The rumour is that they're going to have a streaming console and a home, you know, a physical home console. We'll see what happens. It's going to be very interesting.
See what happens.
It doesn't bother me because I'm going to be playing on the Switch anyway. Now, the thing is, though, this is going off topic a little bit here, but if everything went streaming-wise, I actually think the Switch is the best way. Because if you think about it, at that point, hardware doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter how powerful your console is because it's being streamed.
True.
So basically, you get the best of both worlds in that scenario because you can play insane graphical powerhouse games in handheld. When you put it in the dock, you can play it on the TV. So what incentive have I got to actually go with any of the others?
It's true.
That is if Nintendo sorted their online service out, which is a big if. So something to think about. And obviously we've already seen some games in Japan, like Assassin's Creed Odyssey was streamable to the Switch. I don't know why it was only in Japan that they did that, but interesting.
I'm not saying
anything. And apparently it ran quite well, so I'd play Assassin's Creed Odyssey on the Switch. Jodie's impartial. So there you go. And finally, now this is the big one of this week. This is the big one. You won't care the tiniest little bit, Jodie, but this sent the internet into mayhem because on Kind of Funny, of all places, I've not seen anything from them in a long time. So what happened was, right, they had this guy on. I did a little sneaky, right? He basically went, there's a game that's going to come out on the Nintendo Switch that was basically a high-profile cancellation elsewhere. So basically a high-profile game got cancelled somewhere at some time, and that's now coming to the Switch. So everybody went crazy speculating about what this game might be. And the one that most people seem to be sticking to, that I think it is as well, because I think it makes the most sense, even though it's crazy to think, and that game is Scalebound. And the reason that that's interesting, Jodie, is because Scalebound was initially an Xbox One exclusive, and then they cancelled it. And the big rumour now is that Nintendo have basically picked that up, which would be crazy because they've basically just robbed one of Microsoft's only exclusive games. And the only exclusive game they've had in a long time, really, apart from Forza, is Crackdown 3, which has been one of the worst reviewed games I've seen in a very long time. So this game is made by Platinum, who make Bayonetta, and then also... I can't remember what that game's called now, that they showed in the Direct right at the end, just before Zelda.
I don't think I got that far.
We talked about it and you went, what? No. Not interested.
Okay.
But they just make these big crazy games, but this one's like, it's got a dude with headphones who runs around with a sword, and he's got dragons who are his best mates. It looks pretty cool. It looks like
How to Train Your Dragon?
How to Train Your Dragon, right? But for adults. Exactly. Exciting times.
Oh, look for How to Train Your Dragon adults.
So I'm really excited. There's a lot of people who really want this game to come out, and then apparently, I didn't know this, but apparently Microsoft actually cancelled the game because they wanted multiplayer to be put in the game, and they didn't want to basically do that. So there was that disagreement there. I can care less if they put multiplayer in it or not, but this would be so cool if this actually happened. And then what happened to it more when I was watching Spawn Wave again, he brought up all the patents at the moment, and in like most countries the patent has been abandoned by Microsoft, so it's just starting to look like it could be happening. I just think it makes the most sense. I can't think of another high profile game that guy could be talking about, but it's exciting times, Jodie. Nintendo Switch just taking them all out, robbing exclusives. Makes me proud.
A bit like Granger Games. Somebody got shut down.
So yeah, that's kind of cool. You excited, Jodie? You excited because dragons?
Yeah, there's dragons in it. Alright, yeah. I'm alright with that.
I was gonna make another. This is another. Like, I have these moments where I have these jokes, and I think is it questionable. I'm gonna throw this one out there, and I'm gonna let you decide again. Okay. It's down to you. So I was gonna say.
Last week we did kick it out the bit.
So I was gonna say, How to Train Your Dragon. The subtitle could be. So we hope you enjoyed the news. We're now gonna move into what is out this week.
Oh well, leaving that in.
Can someone tell me what's out this week? Hey-oh.
Welcome back. It is time for what is out this week. And Jodie, we have got 6 wonderful games to share and for you to tell us what we should buy this week.
Okay.
Excited?
Do you know what? Instead of you describing each one,
just say them.
Just say them, and then I'll just pick one and see what happens.
But what happens if you or the audience don't know what it is?
Then I'll ask.
I feel like this is a bad choice.
Let's just do it and see what happens.
Okay, so last week I made a mistake somehow. I said Dirt Rally 2.0 was coming out last week. It wasn't. It was this week.
I'm so glad you did that because I didn't want to pick the other one anyway.
So, so exactly last week it worked out quite nicely. So we might get it twice. So number 1, we've got Dirt Rally 2.
Yeah.
Number 2, we've got Nier Automata. So you want me to explain this one now, don't you?
But let's carry on.
So those 2 come out on Tuesday. Then we've got Trials Rising. If you want the physical edition, it's the gold edition because that's the only physical version. Otherwise, it's a download. That also comes out on Tuesday. Then on Friday, we've got Dead or Alive 6. So you don't know what half of these are, do you, Jodie? I know you don't. Number 5, we've got The Lego Movie 2. But that is only on Xbox One and PS4. The Switch version comes out 2 weeks later. Don't know why. Companies just love to do that for some reason. And then finally, we have got the Dark Souls trilogy for PS4 and Xbox One, which also comes out on Friday. So, Jodie, which one do you want me to explain first?
The second one.
So, Nier Automata is a Square Enix published game. Square Enix, Final Fantasy, all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of... I've never played it, but from what I've seen, it is like a third-person action game. And it's supposed to be really good.
That's definitely not good.
Like, really good. It's supposed to be amazing. So that is the Game of the Year edition. So
Game of the Year edition?
That's what they call it. It was amazing how many games got Game of the Year edition back in the day. Like, every game seemed to get Game of the Year edition. Other ones you might not know about. Dead or Alive 6. It upsets me, Dead or Alive. Because Dead or Alive, right, I think just the way it works, it's one of the best fighting games. I love how... So you think like Tekken and stuff, but you can like punch people that hard that they go flying and break through the wall, and then you sort of end up in another stage because you broke through, or you might slam through the ground and it might all fall away. You fall down a skyscraper. It's all crazy. But there is a lot of boobs in this game.
Okay.
A lot of boobs, like everywhere, to the point of where the PS3 one, I remember it was the first one I played and I didn't really know what I was getting into, where at the end, if you want to fight right as a woman, the thumbsticks, you can move them around and it made the boobs jiggle. So unfortunately, it is quite inappropriate and it's really annoying because it's such a good fight. Like, if you want to play a tame version of it, so you don't want the boobs, you can pick up Dead or Alive on the 3DS, and that's just a good fighting
nice
game. There's none of
Okay.
that. But for some reason, they have to throw that in. So what usually happens, right, it releases, and it's not too bad. It's okay-ish. And then what they do is they release a load of costume packs, and then that's where it gets out of hand. So unfortunately... It's quite bad. It's quite bad.
That is quite bad.
Let's explain the Lego Movie 2. No, I don't need to do that. And the Dark Souls trilogy is just Dark Souls all put together. So, quickly rundown. I may as well have just explained the games I went through, Joe. That's a big mistake. That's okay.
It's good to try something different.
Okay, so we got Dirt Rally 2.0. We got Nier Automata Game of the Year Edition. We got Trials Rising, or Trials Gold Edition. You got Dead or Alive 6, Booby Town. You've got the Lego Movie 2, and you've got Dark Souls Trilogy. Jodie, what should people pick up this week?
Lego Movie 2.
The Lego Movie 2?
I'm going to go safe.
Okay.
I'm going to go safe.
Going to go safe. Any reason for that? You enjoy your Lego games?
No, I actually don't like it.
Okay, so that's straight up. Should it be out on Xbox PS4, or should they wait for the Switch version?
Wait for the Switch version, because then you can do what you want with it.
So,
go where you want with it.
So, the pick of the week for this week is a game that you should wait 2 weeks for.
Yeah.
Awesome. Moving on, it's time for Reviews of the Week.
Oh, it's time to get funky. The reviews of the week.
Alright.
Okay.
Welcome back. It is time for Reviews of the Week. And like I said, this mysterious game, Jodie, what is Tim going to be reviewing this week?
What are you going to review?
Well, I hesitated in buying this game. Okay. And I went, you know what? I'm going to do it. And it's actually because a YouTuber that I really don't like. I don't like him. He does my head in. I just think he robs everybody else's points of views, and it annoys me so much. But he actually had his own point of view on this one. And this is Modern Combat 5 Blackout. It sounds like Call of Duty, doesn't it? But it's not. So this is a Call of Duty ripoff, essentially. But this game was originally on mobile, so you can actually go right now, download it on your phone or your iPad, and you can play the multiplayer version for free.
Yeah.
Or you can buy. So that one's called Modern Combat 5 Versus. It might just be called Modern Combat Versus or Modern Combat 5. Which has the single player and everything in it. So basically what they've done is they put this on the Switch, they've put up the resolution and stuff, and I don't think they've really added anything, but you just pay £20 up front and there's no microtransactions. There's loot boxes in it, but you can't pay for them. You earn stuff as you go through.
Nice. And
you earn it at like a really fast rate as well, so it's not like there's no reason to make you wait because you can't pay for stuff. So I just thought I'd make that clear because some people have been reviewing it and saying that there's a shop there. You actually can't buy loot boxes, so you're fine. So in terms of that, it's really good. I've been playing Modern Combat games on mobile since the first one, which was a long time ago. I think I played every single one and absolutely loved it. I just want to clear up as well the fact that it's called Blackout because some people like the balls on them calling it Blackout when there's Call of Duty Blackout. I want to point out it's always been called Modern Combat 5 Blackout, and this came out years ago. So they've not stolen anything. We're all good. So I was hesitant because loads of people were saying it was really bad, but I've wanted a Call of Duty style game on the Switch for so long, and eventually one person was just saying it's just like dumb fun. It's not amazing, but it sort of fills that void. So I bought it, and I was really surprised. Because I have played it on mobile first, but playing it with controls is so much better. And I've really been enjoying it, Jodie.
Good.
I've been enjoying it. Multiplayer's all right. I've probably played I played quite a few hours in multiplayer, like quite a lot, and I was having a great time. And then I got to this point where I was like, everyone's using the same gun. Why? And then I basically unlocked this character, and then it ruined everything because there's this gun that just auto locks onto people. And it just kills them. So I was like, why is this gun in the game? It's literally well overpowered. It's so stupid. And then, so it has a single player, which is great, but what it does is basically you play one sort of bigger mission. The bigger mission probably lasts about 5 to 8 minutes. And then what you do is you play like sort of smaller chunk versions of that mission in the same area. So you'll play one big mission and then you play like 3 or 4 missions after that are all in the same area, but it'll give you different sort of goals or tasks, like clear out the enemies or defuse this bomb or whatever. And then it has little challenges that are in each level as well. So it would be like get 5 headshots and whatever. So it's actually just like it's a nice way to introduce you to the game. The single player is not amazing, but it's there and it's good because like once Call of Duty comes out and nobody plays the multiplayer in this game, you can still play the game, which is good. So it's not awful. It's not amazing either. Multiplayer consists of 2 modes, which is just free for all and team deathmatch. And I think the thing that most people are liking is there's just a ton of stuff to unlock, which is great. And obviously because there's no microtransactions, they've obviously had to constantly put stuff in the mobile game to justify you constantly buying loot boxes, you know, and to constantly give you stuff to buy. But all that stuff's just in the game already and you don't have to pay for any of it. So you're just unlocking tons of stuff all the time, which is really good. And it feels, automatically it has set on the game auto run. If you turn that feature off, you'll have a great time because basically when you move it just automatically sprints and it feels weird. If you turn that off, you can just click in the stick like you would in a normal game and sprint. So in terms of how good this game is, right, I'm gonna be clear, if this was on PlayStation, PS4 or Xbox One or PC, no one's buying this game. No one.
Okay. But
because it's on the Switch and there's just the only real first-person shooters you've got is Doom and Wolfenstein 2. Mm-hmm. And one of them is single-player only. This kind of fills that void of military shooters and like Call of Duty and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's actually a nice fit, and it's great to play it in handheld mode, and then obviously it controls a bit better when you're in TV mode and you're playing with like a pro controller. But in terms of a score, and this is where I want people to understand the scale, because people like anything below an 8 is a bad game. That's not true. The way it works is that really anything below a 5 is bad. Anything above is okay. So to me, this game sits at a comfortable 5 out of 10. So it's just a very average game. It's not going to blow anybody's mind. But if you wanted like a multiplayer first-person shooter, this will totally fill that void for you. You'll have a great time. So it's one of them where if that's what you want, if that's what you're looking for, I recommend it. If you're buying this as a single-player shooter, don't do it to yourself. It's there and it's good and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But you don't want to pay 20 quid for that. But if you want a multiplayer shooter all day long, I think it's worth it, and it'll keep you going till something like Call of Duty comes on, or the other one that everyone's playing these days. What's it called?
PUBG.
No, but why is that game not on the Switch? It makes no sense. It's on mobile. Why is it not on the Switch?
I think we'd rock it if it was on Switch.
I would buy it.
I mean, I think a lot of people would buy it.
I'm baffled why that's not on there. We've had loads, especially with Fortnite coming over as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of them. It just needs to happen, really.
Apex Legends, that's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The Battle Royale game. So, if you want something before that sort of stuff comes out, I recommend it. I think you'll have a good time. Morality score-wise, I haven't played the whole of single player, so I can't fully say what's in that. But I don't think there's really much swearing. The graphics aren't good enough to have blood and guts flying everywhere.
Just see this blob of red going across the screen. What's that? That's blood.
So it's just the fact that you're shooting and killing people. And in terms of what I'm fighting for, I don't honestly know. I'm just going in and just having a good time. I don't know what the heck why I'm going after people. Somebody screwed over somebody. I think basically Activision made people buy loot boxes or something, and now everyone's fighting back against them. I think that's the storyline. I think that's how it goes. Okay. Yeah, it might be that. Could be. So in terms of morality score, I think it's probably a comfortable 7.
Okay.
Comfortable 7. So there you go.
Fair enough.
Interested, Jodie?
No.
Nope. Let's move on. It's time for Topic of the Week.
Topic of the week.
Right, it's back.
Right, it's back.
It's back. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is back on BBC Two every Friday night.
Yeah. It's Will Smith's kid this time.
Hey, did you know that Will Smith, right, got approached to play Neo in The Matrix?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Did you know he's playing the genie in Aladdin?
No.
Yeah. And it looks awful.
I thought you were going to it looks awesome. I can imagine him being not very good, actually.
No. It's not him. I think it's just the way the digital stuff's been done.
Oh, right. So the genie thing's
really
being done
bad.
digital.
And
it's not like him.
I think it's
Is
him
it
in
just
some
a voice?
parts, but he has digitalization. I've seen like a 5-second clip of him.
Why would they do that when it's all
dirty.
live action?
I don't know. I've not watched it all, but it just looks. I think he's in it, like at some points, like when he's not meant to be floating around, and then.
You know what? I don't even remember what I said before this conversation. So how did we get onto Aladdin?
Oh, we're talking about Will Smith.
But why did it? Oh, because we were talking about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That got really weird, really fast. How did we end up here? Anyway, I can't remember why any of that got brought up.
Now the song's in
You're
the
right.
head.
This is one of those moments where I'm watching the show back now on the Monday, and I'm watching going like, I have no idea what's going to be said because I don't remember any of it. So it's going to be just as much of a new show for you as it is for me. So anyway, let's get on to the topic of the week. I am literally trying to remember what the heck happened. How did I start this section? Anyway, what I thought would be interesting, because this is obviously something we talked about in the news this week.
Okay.
How do we feel? So, in a game like Call of Duty, where maybe you've bought that game thinking there's no microtransactions, I'm really happy. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to play it. Now they've added stuff. How do we feel about what do we do with games where stuff gets added in later that we don't agree with? Another good example of this, right? And we have talked about this specific game in the past, but Outlast 2 literally cut, I think it might have just been in Australia, but I can't remember if it was everywhere, but they literally cut certain things out of the game because they knew they wouldn't get rated for it. Okay. So they put it out, it got approved and everything, and then they just patched in the bad stuff later. So obviously that patch would have had to have got certified and everything anyway, but it's just that it's an interesting one because people have bought that game, like let's say it was a 15, I think it was an 18, but let's say it was a 15, and then they've patched stuff in that's made it an 18. How does that work anyway for people? Like, do they have to okay the fact that, because you know they've already paid for the game? It's a weird one. But what do we do with games like Call of Duty, for example? Like, let's say you're just dead set against loot boxes. What do you do if a game basically patches that stuff in after you've bought it? Do you continue playing it and just being like, try and ignore it? Or do you rebel against it and just sell it off? Do you just refuse to play it? What do you do, Jodie?
I don't actually.
What do you do?
What would I do?
What would you do?
I mean, if it was stuff like they patched in like loot boxes afterwards or stuff you have to buy to make yourself a little bit better, then I'd probably just sell it.
Right.
Because it just brings the fact that the person with the most money is going to get the better stuff.
Yeah.
That's basically what loot boxes are for. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, bad patches, like you were saying, like they put in bad patches afterwards.
Yeah.
I'd be like, it depends on how bad it was. If it was like proper not stuck to morals, then it's out. Like it's gone. You know what I mean? And a complaint's going to the company. That's what would happen. Honest, that's
Jodie's going to
happen.
be one of those old ladies that writes the letters to the...
Excuse me.
My biscuit came kind of soggy in my packet.
I mean, I'm not that bothered about it. But anyway. But yeah, I mean, I would literally complain because I think the only thing that companies, and it's happened with films lately, especially with like the new Frozen coming out, because it was like a storyline that they didn't want to happen, and a lot of people have complained about it, so they've had to take that storyline out.
All right.
So
what? This is new information. All the Disney info coming out today.
So, and that's what I think. If people complain after they've sold it on for a reason, they'll know then. for future games not to do that. And I think that's just what's needed. I know it's already out, but like, it's just one of them. So anyway, people are going to listen otherwise.
Yeah. So I think this is a problem that's going to increase as we go on. I think definitely. If anything, Fallout 76 has displayed that beautifully for us. But I just think like stuff like that with Fallout 76, for example, where they've now put in essentially costumes that give you a boost, even if it's only for a week. I just feel like at the moment companies are now getting away with this sort of thing. And I think the best example is Call of Duty and Battlefront put together. So Battlefront obviously got just everybody hated and people refused to buy the game and everything because of all the loot boxes and the way that it was tied to progression and everything. And then you've got, so they like literally lost out on sales and everything. And then you got Call of Duty, who basically just slide it in like a slithery snake, just slide it into the game. Dirty, it is, isn't it? Put in the black market. The joke.
Black market. I can't get over that.
But you know what I mean? It's just that basically, really, Call of Duty's done it worse because they've got more types of monetization in it. They've literally got everything, but they're not really getting the stick for it like Battlefront did, just because they weren't upfront with it. And actually, the way Call of Duty's done it is actually more seedy, really. You know what I mean? It's more like you can just see how they've done that on purpose so that they can manipulate what's going to happen.
I'm not lying. If I bought my kid that game and I go, oh, what have you been doing on your game? They'd be like, oh, I've just been in the black market. I'm not lying.
You can't get past this bit.
No, I just can't. I've been in the black market. I'd be like, mate, like, you're not playing that game.
I just want to point out the black market is just a shop. It's not like,
it doesn't matter.
It's not dodgy stuff going on.
It doesn't matter. I'd still stop them from playing it.
So I think like this is a big issue. This is the new issue now. Loot boxes was the issue before. This is the new issue now where people are basically putting in stuff into the game that people didn't want at the start to basically make sure they get the sales and everything, then they'll get the money out of you some other way later. So to me, I think
that's just rude.
I think it is, you know what I mean? But I think to me, it depends on how much it impacts the game. So for example, Call of Duty, if the only way that I was now unlocking cosmetics was basically by having to buy stuff, really, I would just stop playing the game and probably sell it. But if it's just not intrusive and it's just this thing over there, it's just like if you want a shiny gun or something that wasn't there before, I'd just ignore it and continue. In terms of the other stuff, like if they patch in dodgy stuff into like the story mode or something or anything like that, then I just wouldn't. Again, I'd just stop and sell it. It's just what's really hard about it is that there's no real way to like protest against it. Because you know what I mean? Because you know, like if EA come out and they're just like, we're bringing out Loot Box the game. It's basically a game where you just buy loot boxes and get stuff out of it. Everybody can just go, we're not going to buy that, and they won't buy it. And then EA now hear that we don't want loot boxes. Whereas with this, you're buying a game that you want and then they're just putting it in afterwards, and how do you protest against that? You can't, because you've already bought the game, you've given them the money, and then even if we go, right, we're just going to stop playing it and we'll sell it, they're not bothered because they've still got that money off you. So there's actually no way to go against it.
It's so true.
Other than if just everybody stopped playing and then refused to buy the next game. But you'd have to know that they weren't going to put that in. And as we've seen with Fallout 76, even if they say they won't put stuff in, they just will anyway. You know what I mean?
I think, like I said last week, we just need to boycott
the lot.
Just do it.
You know who don't put in loot boxes, Johnny?
Who?
Nintendo. So everybody needs to boycott everyone. Just buy Nintendo Switch. And just buy Nintendo games.
It's true.
It's true. Confirmed.
It is very true.
So yeah, I think this is an issue that I think more and more people are going to find, but I just don't think anybody's got an answer to how we fight against it, and it's going to be interesting. So there is our answer, non-answer. We haven't really answered the question apart from we just say we wouldn't play if that happened. So that is that's the show for this week. If you have a solution to this dilemma, let us know. If anybody found the solution to where the pound went from last week, please let me know, because I'm still dying inside.
It's in the actual. I put it in the actual last episode, but I didn't.
You put the answer?
Yeah.
No.
What Gemma said, yeah.
You're lying.
No.
Right, we're going to have to end this incredibly quick so I can go and look at the answer.
I mean, I still didn't understand it, but still.
So we hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, you can give it a thumbs up. If you absolutely hated it, of course, you can give it a thumbs down.
But don't do that. We don't want you to. But we love you now.
People are allowed their own decisions, Jodie.
Clearly not in Fallout 76.
Also, if you want to see loads more videos like this, we have got. Look at you, ready to go with the ding ding. That's what I'm waiting for. That's why I keep loading them like it's coming. Even though I've got to say it first, I know that it's coming. If we've got videos up like our Game of the Year videos, finally up. It's
yeah, I didn't even know it was up.
I've watched it all through twice because I enjoyed it so much. So I definitely.
I didn't even know it was up. I watched 5 minutes of it because I was going to bed.
I really enjoyed it. I forgot about a lot of the stuff that we said in it. It was just funny. So go check that out. We are going to have, probably up by the end of next week, we're going to have the highlights from 2018, just from the different funny bits. Basically, it's just going to be 10 minutes of Jodie getting killed by the first Goomba in Mario, which is definitely my favourite video. So hit that subscribe button and hit the bell button.
Ding ding!
To be notified of every new video. So we hope to see you very soon. We'll see you very soon. Bye.